Steve is out of Boston, Mass. Steve, thank you for calling. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse.
Hey, Steve, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
All is well, sir. I'm
no
sorry.
man does good, right?
No man,
I'm well.
no man is good, but you can't do
Exactly.
good if you're of good.
Fair enough.
Yes, sir.
So I called in, I don't know, probably 6 months, maybe 8 months ago, and we spoke for a little bit about, I forget exactly the topic we were talking about, but you kind of pushed me towards going and forgiving my mother and forgiving my father and whatnot. And I explained to you at that point that I don't know my real father, and you urged me to, find him, do what I could to find him. So without making this a long story, I forgave my mother, and then I had tried to figure out how to get in touch with my father, and then for whatever reason, one day, it had to have been God kind of intervened. I ended up coming across his phone number. And,
wow.
It was strange. It honestly was
amazing.
Strange, yeah, and to be completely honest, I didn't even call him for a few months. I don't think I was ready to forgive him.
Right.
And anyways, I ended up calling him, and he we don't know each other at all, and it was the strangest thing because I've always been I'm not like a follower, I don't just because I like the message that you have.
Right.
I don't do everything you say word for word. I take what your message and I listen to it.
Right.
And I apply it to my life. That doesn't mean that you're my pariah.
Right.
And I'm like, everything Jesse says I have to do.
Amazing.
And I've always been like that. So I didn't go into the conversation thinking of this man that was on the other end of the phone as, my dad. It was just, this was almost like a checklist type thing. Like, I just have to get this done because I want peace. And that's how I went into the phone call. And then as the phone call progressed, I realized like how much we don't know each other and how different we are, and how lucky I actually was at the end of the day that he wasn't an influence on my life. Because you want to talk about beta male. Oh my God.
Beta male!
He got mad at me because I told him how I was raising my son to be a man. And that triggered him so hard that he was like screaming at me on the phone. And this is somebody I don't know. So this is a stranger to me. I'm 36 years old.
Right.
This was the first time really that we'd ever had a conversation. We had spoke on the phone one other time when I was younger for like a minute. And other than that, I had never really spoken to the man. And he got so triggered. And I'm thinking to myself, like, first of all, this is not controversial to me, saying I want my son to be a man. That to me, that's just like common sense.
What did you say to him? What did you say to him when you called? Did you call to forgive him? What did you say?
Yeah, well, at the beginning of the conversation, he was kind of rambling on and on and on about how he needed to tell me all this type of stuff, and I was like, well, hey, listen, before you get into your speech, I just wanted to let you know that I don't harbor any, anger towards you, and I forgive you for, making the choices that you made, and I realize now that it had nothing to do with me.
What did you say about that?
He basically was like, you're right, it had nothing to do with you. And, he really didn't want to talk about, like, he wasn't trying to hear me. You understand what I'm like?
I do.
I felt like when I was speaking,
yeah,
it was like he was thinking about the next thing he was going to say.
Yeah.
So it was almost like, like I said, even though I hoped it didn't go that way, it was almost like a checklist type thing. Like, at least I told him that I forgave him,
And did you forgive him? Did you really forgive him?
Genuinely. The thing about it is the only thing I hadn't done really, and I realized this after I made the phone call, the only thing I hadn't done before that was say it to him out loud.
Right.
In my heart, I never really had any ill will towards him.
Right
I
on.
didn't know him. He was a stranger to me, you know.
Right.
I recognize that, you know, I would never do that to my son, what he did to me, but that doesn't mean anything, really. I mean,
Right.
he's just another person.
And so how are you feeling about him now?
He's kind of irrelevant. I don't, you know, I left it as, you have my phone number now.
So you're not angry at him? You're not angry at him anymore?
I don't respect him very much, but I'm not angry at him.
Why don't you respect him?
Oh, he is the worst kind of Democrat.
But that's not a reason not to respect him.
Why should I respect him? He wants me to raise my son not to be a man.
But you still realize that he can't help himself? And don't...
I recognize that.
What does not respecting him mean to you? When you say that, what do you mean when you say you don't respect him?
I mean, if he was to say, like, I'll put it to you this way. His opinion means nothing to me.
So what do you...
Your opinion means something to me. His opinion means nothing to me.
But what do you mean, though, when you say you don't respect him?
It means that he could say, I could find out that he's going around telling everybody that I'm, you know, the worst person on the planet, and it wouldn't affect me at all. Like I could not care less. You know, not that your opinion would, like I said before, not that your opinion would change me. However, it would affect me. Your opinion would affect me, or a friend of mine who I respect, or another man who I respect.
You love
him?
Opinion, you love your father?
I love everybody.
Do you love your father?
I love my father.
You sound, and it could be me, but you sound a little disappointed or angry at him. You don't sound pleasant about him.
I'm disappointed. I'm certainly disappointed.
In what?
100%.
In what?
I hope that there would be more of a connection there, because I hear you say a lot that you got to connect with your earthly father.
Well,
and part of me hoped that there would be a connection there, and there wasn't, you know.
But you know what? People. Connection means you don't harbor any anger against him at all. It doesn't mean that you're going to connect with him as far as you and your father becoming one in the physical. It just means you can't resent him and expect to overcome the fallen state. But he may not agree with you. I mean, you may not be able to connect with him in a physical way because he's not ready to admit that he's wrong. And so you need to let him go and suffer, but have no resentment toward him. Wish him well. And one day he may realize what you said is true and he can overcome. But don't harbor. But it seemed as though you were expecting him to have open arms and the two of you start hanging out and all that kind of stuff.
I don't know what my expectations were. I mean, like I said, I kind of went into it as like, I have to check this off the list to get peace. And
yeah, but don't
really
be disappointed. Don't be disappointed that he didn't accept it because he might not be ready. And to God, it's important that you repent so you can be born again and be free. And if he decides to do it, then he will too, and God is okay with that too. But don't hold anything against him at all. You love your father and mother by not hating them.
No, I agree. I agree with you.
Okay.
I 100% agree with you.
But I understand that you were disappointed. You thought that you guys would become, seeing each other, you'd be happy about your kids and all that.
You know what? I didn't expect that, Jesse. I honestly didn't. I'm not.
But what are you disappointed about then?
The disappointment comes from, I was hoping that we would have been more alike. You know what I mean? And we're just so different that it's not even like I would have, even if he was to have been like, oh, I want to hang out with you all the time. I'm not that type of person. I have my family. I'm married. I have a son. We're having more children. We're bringing more white babies.
You were hoping that the two of you would
I have my family. I wasn't trying to add a grandpa. That really wasn't the case at all.
But you were hoping
that we could have been able to at least talk to each other and be on the same level. At the end of the day, I love the man, but I don't. He's just irrelevant. His opinions are so far out there to me that he's irrelevant. You know what I'm saying?
Well, be patient
So that
with him.
was
He may come
disappointing.
around. Hey, be patient, Steve. He may come around. Give him time.
Hey, man. I wanted to say something, too, if you don't mind, if I can just take a few seconds of your time.
Yeah, real fast because I got to run. Go ahead.
I will. I'll be quick about it. The woman that called you earlier and that was trying to stumble you up on the, women, a man when if he lays his hand on a woman.
Gabrielle.
Right. The thing about that is I've never laid my hand on a woman but one time, and it was in 5th grade. And she ripped my hat off my head on the bus and spit in it and threw it out the window, and I turned around and clocked her in the face. Now, I was dead wrong. I was not right for putting my hands on that girl.
Why not?
Like you said, she had it coming. Well, no human being should put their hands on another human being unless it's self-defense.
Right, that's right. Why is it being pushed that it's okay for women to attack men, but men can't defend themselves against women? Why is that?
I mean, the truth of the matter is it's all about, building power. People are power hungry. So the more that they can get you to see the other person as your enemy or your political enemy or the other tribe, the more they can do that, the easier it is to manipulate you to, give them power or give them money.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day,
Amazing.
it's Satan using power to manipulate people's minds, in my opinion.
Steve, are you black or white?
White.
Oh, because it's hard to tell. I have some black friends who, they live in Oregon. They have the same accent that you have, so it's kind of hard to tell. But I wish you well, man. I'm glad you found your father. Just wish you well. Don't hold anything against him. Your life will, and your family life will be amazing.
It already has gotten better. I've got a really good job, and
Right
everything's
on.
going really well ever since I kind of let go of the anger. So
That's right.
There's a lot of truth in what you're saying.
Right on. Thank you, Steve. Call me again, buddy.
God bless.
All right, you too.